Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today, I will talk about a drama action film from 2022 titled Top Gun Maverick. Without further ado, let's get started. The movie begins with jets landing on an aircraft carrier as if the officials are testing their power and ability to fly and work properly. The movie then switches to Deserto Del Mojave, California, where Captain Pete Mitchell, aka Maverick, a former Navy top aviator, is getting ready for a test flight. After losing his best friend Goose in a tragic crash, Maverick couldn't bear the pain and became a test pilot. He takes the keys and enters a restricted area where he has to test an aircraft that has the potential to reach Mach 9. However, upon approaching there, he is told by Bob and Salahuddin, the Rear Admiral Cain doesn't find it good enough and is coming to a halt on the hypersonic scramjet development and diverting the funding to his drone programs. Ignoring the Admiral's orders, Maverick flies to the craft to its speed goal before pushing farther into high hypersonic speed, which results in overheating of the surface, causing it to crash. The crew's happiness immediately changes to grief as they cannot contact Maverick after the screen goes black. It is revealed that Maverick successfully manages to get out of the aircraft and is now ordered to visit Admiral Cain in his office. The Admiral reads aloud his profile, which states that he has served 30 years in service, has combat medals, and has acquired many distinctions. When he inquires of Maverick why he is still a captain and has not gotten promoted, Maverick responds that he is where he belongs. Enraged over Maverick's ignorance, Cain tells him that after the crash, he was going to ground him, but was interrupted by Admiral Tom Kaczynski, aka Iceman, the head of the U.S. Pacific Fleet. He wants Maverick to head to the North Island as he has been called back to Top Gun. With a smile on his face, Maverick heads his way to San Diego, California, where he meets Vice Admiral Bo, Cyclone, and Rear Admiral Solomon, who later informs him about their target. It is a uranium enrichment plant, representing a direct threat to their allies in the region. Moreover, the plant sits on an underground bunker at the end of the valley, which is GPS jammed and defended by an extensive surface-to-air missile array, serving a limited number of 5th-generation fighters, which in turn is backed up by a plentiful reserve of surplus aircraft. Maverick devises a plan to attack with 2 pairs of Super Hornets, destroying the plant while flying through the canyon. However, he is told by the officials that he will not be carrying out the operation, but will teach a group of 12 Top Gun graduates from the squadron. Based on their performance, Maverick will narrow that pool down to 6. After seeing Goose's son, Bradley Bradshaw, aka Rooster, in the squad, Maverick gets upset, but he is forced to teach or never fly for the Navy again. Later, Maverick receives a message from Iceman. Maverick tells him that the kids are not yet ready for the mission, but the Iceman responds that this is why he is called again in Top Gun. While sitting in the pub, Maverick meets his former girlfriend, Penny Benjamin, after which they converse about their past. Meanwhile, we see Phoenix with her 2 friends, Payback and Fanboy, approaching Hangman and Coyote. When Rooster enters the bar, Hangman tells him that he will beat him and become the mission leader. It seems like both do not get along well. As Maverick is outside, he witnesses Rooster playing the piano and singing a song that Goose used to sing. The scene brings back the bitter memory of Goose's death, for which he holds himself responsible. In the orientation lecture, Solomon informs the squad about selecting only 6 candidates out of 12, with 1 as the mission leader. Later, he introduces the class to Maverick, who will instruct them on their mission. Besides teaching the team from the book, Maverick wants them to experience real-life situations and learn tactics that their enemies will not be aware of. Before they can start the training, Maverick approaches Rooster and requests him to act normal. However, considering Maverick responsible for his father's death, Rooster doesn't follow his instructions. While teaching the basic fighter maneuvers, Maverick introduces the squad to their first task, which they cannot accomplish. They must perform push-ups after each defeat. Maverick and Rooster are currently in competition with one another. They perform some high G maneuvers and rapidly lose altitude while practicing. When Maverick drives up, Rooster has the chance to shoot him, but they are so low. Rooster is shot by Maverick when he sneaks up behind him and displays a cobra. Later, while performing push-ups, Rooster informs Phoenix that Maverick withdrew his admission to the Naval Academy, costing him 4 years. On the other hand, Cyclone is enraged at Maverick for his reckless maneuvers that endanger the aircraft and the pilots. Maverick informs him that this mission requires them to do something they have never done before. Cyclone tells him that Maverick will brief him on his lesson ideas every morning. In the meantime, Hangman unearths an old photograph of Maverick with Goose and Ice. He now understands Rooster's anger toward Maverick. Later, Maverick instructs the squad about their upcoming task and explains the importance of time in the mission. Phase 1 of the project will be low-level ingress attack in 2 plane teams. Radar-guided surface-to-air missiles defend the area, but these are designed to protect the skies above, not the canyon below. Therefore, they must practice keeping their plane at a maximum altitude of 100 feet. If they exceed this altitude, the radar will find them, and they will die. The time to target is 2.5 minutes because 5th generation fighters wait at an airbase nearby. That's why they need to get in on time, immediately hit the target, and be gone before these planes even have a chance to catch them. The mission is about timing and low altitude, which they will be practicing for the next 3 weeks. As Maverick is sitting there worrying about Rooster, he gets a message from Ice, who wants to meet him. Arriving at his house, Maverick learns that Ice suffers from last-stage throat cancer and primarily communicates by typing on a computer. When Maverick meets Ice, he is inquired about the progress of their ongoing work. Maverick explains how Rooster is still angry with him for what he did to his father. Maverick wants Ice to rethink his decision and send him to the mission instead of Rooster. Maverick continues that if he sends Rooster to the task, he will never return, and if he doesn't send him, Rooster will never forgive him. Either way, he will lose him forever. However, Ice wants him to continue teaching the kids because the Navy wants him to make the mission successful. Later, at Penny's home, Maverick reveals that Rooster's now deceased mother forced him to swear not to let her son fly. This is the reason he withdrew Rooster's admission to Naval Academy. Back in the Academy, Solomon informs the squad that the uranium plant will be operational earlier than expected, the result of which their mission has been moved up 1 week. Captain Maverick continues to unfold the plan, saying that it can only be achievable with the help of 2 consecutive miracles performed by 2 sets of aircraft. Teamwork and precise coordination of these aircraft are essential for the mission's success and the survival of the pilots. The aviators will invert directly into a steep dive, allowing them to maintain the lowest possible altitude and the only possible attack angle. The target is an impact point less than 3 meters wide. 1 set of aircraft will breach the reactor, creating an opening for the second aircraft to target the uranium plant below. To get out of the area, they will have to perform a high G steep enough to explode their lungs, but to survive the mission, this is the only way possible. Later, while practicing, a bird strikes Phoenix's jet, resulting in an engine failure. Although they successfully abort, the plane crashes. In the Academy, Maverick informs Rooster about Bob's minor burns, but the doctors say he would be okay. Rooster bursts out of anger and asks Maverick about his prior actions of pulling up his Navy application, to which Maverick responds that he was not ready. He advises Rooster not to think, but to believe in his instincts. However, Rooster doesn't want to follow his instructions. Cyclone approaches and gives him the news of Ice's death. Iceman's demise, Cyclone appoints himself as a new mission trainer and changes the task's parameters, such that they are less dangerous when approached, but riskier when exited. Maverick proves it was possible by doing an unauthorized flight of the simulated course using the original conditions. Changing his mind, Cyclone grudgingly chooses Maverick to spearhead the mission. Maverick selects the mission team with Payback and Fanboy in one jet, while Phoenix and Bob in the other. He assigns Rooster as the mission leader and pairs up himself with Phoenix's jet. 4 jets teams are now ready to invade the enemy's land. First, Rooster with his adjacent jet is 1 minute behind the estimated time, which makes the process slow and difficult to complete. However, when Maverick motivates him, he quickly employs a high speed, reaching the target soon. Following the plan, the squad successfully manages to destroy the uranium plant. As they are about to leave, Rooster is attacked by surface-to-air missiles. However, Maverick sacrifices his jet to protect Rooster's aircraft, resulting in a crash. The surviving jets return to the carrier after concluding that Maverick has been killed in battle. Rooster defies instructions and goes around to save Maverick from a helicopter gunship. Unfortunately, Rooster is downed by a second surface-to-air missile and ejects close by. Once again, together they move in the direction of the demolished airbase, where they grab an F-14 to make their way to the carrier. But before they can reach, they are attacked by 2 enemy jets. After successfully destroying them, Maverick's jet runs out of ammo and anti-aircraft weapons. To rescue them from the 3rd enemy jet, Hangman approaches on time and helps Maverick and Rooster reach the carrier safe and sound. After some time, Maverick and Rooster work together on a plane when Penny arrives with her daughter. The movie ends with Maverick taking Penny for a ride in a P-51, while we see Rooster gazing at the old photos of his father with young Maverick. If you have already watched this movie, share your reviews with us in the comments below. Before you go, make sure to like this video and subscribe.